Hey everybody, we're going to start off by going over the homework. Please get out your adding and subtracting mixed number worksheet from last night. And I'm going to have the addition side up first. Please pause the video so you can check and see how you did. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you checked your answers. I'm going to go to the subtraction side. Please do the same thing and pause the video so you can check your work. You'll bring this back with you when you come next week, okay? So let's go through a riddle before I get to today's lesson. All right, there was a plane that crashes right on the border of North and South Carolina. Where do they bury the survivors? I'll give you a minute of think time. I'm back. All right, where do they bury the survivors? People, you don't bury survivors because they're alive. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the riddle. Let's start talking about today's lesson. Okay, multiplying fractions. We're gonna move on from adding and subtracting. When you multiply fractions, it's real simple. You simply do your numerator times your numerator and your denominator times your denominator. You can reduce at the end or cross simplify, and I'm gonna show you those options in a second. So the algorithm, or fancy word for rule, is simply this. So let's look at one of these. If we took 3/5 and multiplied it by 2/3, and we do numerator times numerator and get 6, and denominator times denominator and get 15, okay? I do want you to try to put these in simplest form. So at the end here, you would be reducing both of them by dividing by the common factor of 3, and you would get an answer of 2/5. There is nothing wrong with how we did that one, and for some of you that will be the way you do these because that is going to be the easiest. However, there's another option that I want to show you guys that I think is quicker, and some of your teachers showed you last year. Since we're multiplying and the order we multiply in doesn't matter, we can do something called cross simplifying. 3 times 2 is 6, but so is 2 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, but so is 3 times 5. So if you're thinking about this, you can actually, because the commutative property of multiplication, you can reduce diagonally. 3 and 3 share a factor of 3, so each of them becomes 1. Now it's 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. There's nothing to reduce. I love the fact that it takes the division out of it. Division is definitely harder as the numbers get larger for many of you, okay? So what we're going to do now, I'm gonna start working through your assignment with you. So I'd like you to get out this worksheet, and we're gonna do the first, I don't know, maybe 4 together, and then you guys can try to finish them on your own. And I am going to show these with cross simplifying, okay? I am going to show them with that. So go ahead and get this out. Pause the video if you need some more time. And I'm going to do each one separately on a different slide so that there's plenty of room up here. Okay, number 1 is not a difficult one. It says 1/4 multiplied by 3/5. There is nothing to cross simplify here. The product of 1 and 3 is 3. The product of 4 and 5 is 20. That's my answer to number 1. Are you good? Are you sure? I hope so. All right. I know I can be scary. Okay, number 2. We have 5/8 multiplied by 3/10. If you multiply across, you're going to get 15/80. You're going to have to reduce that. Okay, and I'm going to show it on this one. You could divide them both by 5 and you end up with 3/16. Again, some of you are going to prefer that. I prefer you to do the cross simplifying, and once you catch on, it's very easy. 3 and 8 don't share any factors, but 5 and 10 do. You can divide them both by 5. The 5 becomes a 1, the 10 becomes a 2. These are just easier numbers to deal with once we make them smaller. This is how I'm going to show the next 2. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is 3/8 multiplied by 16 over 21. If you don't cross simplify, this ends up being 48 over 168. You want to reduce that? Good luck. I'm fine with it. I truly am. You can reduce that. But if you cross simplify and divide 3 and 21 both by 3, this becomes a 1, this becomes a 7. If you divide 8 and 16 both by 8, this becomes a 1, this becomes a 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 7 is 7. That's it. The cross simplifying makes this so easy. Let's do one more. Number 4 says 7/8 multiplied by 6 over 21. Okay, so this is one I want to talk about. It's a little different. The 7 and the 21 both share a factor of 7, so this becomes 1, this becomes 3. Now 6 doesn't go into 8, but there's another number that goes into both of them. Can you figure out what number goes into 6 and 8? It's a 2. So if you divide 6 by 2, you get 3. If you divide 8 by 2, you get 4. Okay? Now, 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Here's where this gets a little tricky. This one can actually still be broken down. And the answer ends up being 1/4. Remember what we talked about? You can take a car to Columbus. You can take a jet to Columbus. You can crawl to Columbus. It doesn't matter how you get to the answer to me. I would like you to try the cross simplifying, but if you're a little confused, just multiply and you would have 42. Okay, if I said 48 earlier, I apologize for that, over 168, and then you're gonna have to start dividing and breaking it down. That will be a lot more work than what we did with the cross simplifying. Okay, your assignment is this worksheet, as I just showed answers and didn't want to do that. Right here, I want to see the work, okay? You cannot just have an answer. I have to see your work. Try the cross simplifying, just trust me, it won't be bad. If you need to rewind the video, do that so you can see what I did on those. And that is your assignment for today. Okay. Bye-bye.